Welcome to Terraform, spawning in the bottom right hand position, currently one game up in this best of 3. Representing Team Acer, it's Nerchio. His opponent in the top left hand position as the yellow Zerg player, ladies and gentlemen, currently down a game after allowing those banelings up his ramp, but macro-wise was keeping toe-to-toe with his opponent. Can he win a game and take this series to a third? It's Daloze. Alright, well, another ZVZ. We have a question about a Zerg in the chat as well. Will you follow Targa? Well, I'm not going to be following any one player. I'm generally going to be bouncing around the games to see who basically has another match ready. But as the day progresses, I suspect there'll be a higher chance that I start following one or two particular players, because at the end of the day, if you're mid-series, it's really awkward to get into another one. So maybe is the answer. We've already had a Target game today, though. But we'll see. I love Target a bit. I love watching his games, so maybe we will. For now, though, we're back in this game. We've got both players going for their pools first. All looking pretty hunky-dory. And Daloze will be looking to make amends for game number 1. Playing pretty sensibly so far. No crazy early pools or anything like that. Nerchio, well, can't really read into anything, to be honest, at the 2-minute 40 stage. Maybe in Legacy of the Void we can, but not in Heart of the Swarm. Natural expansions going down for both players, and the question now remains, are we going to see another knife fight? If I was Nerchio, I'd be perfectly comfortable doing something like this, because at the end of the day, if you won the first knife fight, why not challenge your opponent to a second? Daloze, he's going to have to make some minor tweaks to his game. It was really just unit positioning and getting his banelings in the right place to defend in game number 1. And then he would have been okay, or at least possibly okay. So we'll see what he does in this game as well. Nerchio was very, very aggressive. He might end up doing the same again. More anger towards plates from this side of the map as Daloze continues to defend, and we can see the same pattern here. Nerchio sending his first 2 Zerglings out to scout, but there will be a queen in position with these Zerglings when these plates go down to allow him to stop the Zerglings from going up into the main base. So he denied Nerchio scout in game number 1, and I suspect he'll be in a position to deny Nerchio scout in game number 2 as well. Good positioning there. It looks like the Stegosaurus is going to be in place, and here come the Zerglings from Nerchio, and nope. But this time around, Nerchio turns around immediately. He knows what to expect, and as a result, instead of going down to 1/2 health Zergling, he basically just takes a single hit. So good anticipation there from Nerchio as both players basically settle into more of a rhythm. Once again, a little bit of a faster Zergling speed from Nerchio, so potential for super, super quick timings here. He's also going for the fast baneling now, so it does look like, once again, we're going for the baneling nest. He's going to be layering on the aggression. Daloze has no baneling nest to speak of yet. There we go. Ever so slightly later, but once again, remember that if he is in the defensive position, he might not need to have them oh so quickly. But this baneling nest is quite far behind, I think, compared to... Oh, hang on a second. It's been cancelled. Ladies and gents, it has been cancelled. Nerchio has cancelled the baneling nest and he's gone for the evolution chamber instead. He has changed his mind. I'm not really sure what's changed his mind because he hasn't actually seen anything other than this yet. But Daloze maybe... Well, Daloze is certainly expecting something. He's pulling his Zerglings in the back of his base. The baneling nest is coming down. He's got 2 queens out here. He's being very, very defensive right now, and he is ready to defend. We see the Overlord moving out to try and see if he can check out a couple more of these Zerglings. And it looks like, oh, well, Nerchio is showing him a lot more Zerglings. And Daloze is going, oh, hang on a second. This could be the same thing 2 games in a row. But I just want to highlight that we have the Roach Warren coming down for Nerchio. There will be no banelings with this attack. 0 banelings, guys. Creep Tumor getting picked off there. And here come the Zerglings. And Nerchio's like, whoa, hang on a second. There go the Zerglings as well. Now Daloze, I think... he has to be the one to be the aggressor now. I'm not sure he knows for sure that Nerchio has 0 banelings, but the one way to find out is to move out across the map and try and attack the guy and see what happens. 16 Zerglings coming up for Nerchio. He needs to buy time until the Roach Warren is up so that he can use the Roaches to defend instead. It doesn't look like Daloze is actually moving straight in, though. And as a result, that's actually going to give Nerchio enough time to get these roaches out. And therefore, I don't think Daloze's attack is going to work that well. I mean, it might, but he'd have to have like 25 banelings or something crazy. Nerchio, in the meantime, doing a fantastic job of avoiding these banelings. But the numbers of banelings that are waddling across are going to get increasingly large. And here we go. One baneling going down. Second baneling going down by the looks of things, and he's just kind of chilling at the back. The problem is these queens are going to find it very difficult to go down because there are roaches blocking the ramp as well. So unless Daloze wants to do something like kill off the layer or something like that, this is going to be very difficult for him, and he is going to have to move back. Number of workers lost at the moment, 0-0 this game so far. Daloze was not successful with his attack, and Nerchio has a good number of roaches on the way. We have the roach horn coming in for Daloze as well, but if you take a look at the sheer numbers, a 10 roach lead, and that's when the roach horn is halfway done for Daloze, means that Nerchio might well have a 6 timing coming in, where his opponent simply cannot respond. Roach speed is also coming in, and don't forget we had that Evo chamber instead of the baneling nest, where we went for +1 upgrade to the roach's attack, I believe. Let's go ahead and double check that. Yes, indeed. So Nerchio is setting himself up for a big roach push coming in, but Daloze has so much mobility with these very quick speedlings here, and he's still got so many of them alive. I mean, he's got 33 of them alive, that he might be able to get something done, but perhaps only when Nerchio moves out. I don't really think he can get anything done before then. Looks like a drone is going to go down here, and Nerchio is going to go and take his third base, and he's going to say, well, if you want to come in with your Zerglings, these Zerglings can actually kill off these roaches, I think. He's thinking about it, he's actually running away. I reckon he might be able to, but with these reinforcements, I'm not so sure. And Nerchio will get the third base down. No third base yet for Daloze, but he is thinking about it now. There goes the hatchery, right in the middle of that helipad. It's going to make it awkward for air-based transport in the near future. And an overseer from Nerchio is just going to check all the tech. Really, he's looking for, like, how many Evo chambers have you got? Like, how much tech do you actually have? And he just wants to double check. He's only seen the one Evo chamber in the roach ward. He's going to be fairly happy with that. And here comes Nerchio moving out across the map. Roach speed is complete. He's going to be moving on to creep in just a second now. I mean, with these Zerglings as well, it could be a little bit difficult. Numbers advantage in terms of roach is definitely in Nerchio's favor. 28-15. But the question is, will these Zerglings make enough of a difference? Look at these backup roaches coming in now from Nerchio. Is he going to try and attack off of this? Well, with the static defense as well, I actually think it might be better for him to live and fight another day. He's marginally ahead at the moment. He's 3 workers ahead, guys, and 7 supply ahead overall. So it's not exactly like worlds apart or anything like that. He is ahead with his third base as well, so he'll have a couple more larvae. Although, actually, he's not that far ahead. It's maybe 30 seconds worth at most. In-game, that is. So, Nerchio ahead, but on a knife edge at the moment. And as we know, in ZVZ, knife edges don't necessarily mean that much. Or, depending on who you ask, they mean everything. But there's certainly plenty of room to turn this around. More importantly, though, we have the Hydralisk Den coming out now from Nerchio. And we can see, look at this, +2, well, a little bit behind, as well as Glios for Constitution, only now just finishing up for Daloze. Means that he's quite far behind in terms of tech. And that's really the investment in the Baneling Nest and the early attack with the Banelings. That's what the translation of that has been for Daloze. Nerchio is going to be able to mix Hydras into his composition so much earlier. Will that give him a game-winning advantage? Maybe not immediately, but it's definitely making that knife edge advantage he might have had a little earlier into something substantially better, because he's going to be able to translate it directly into a higher amount of DPS for his army. These Zerglings are going to tickle a single roach by the looks of things. They get taken out, so a 4th base is now on the cards for Ace's Nerchio. Daloze, in the meantime, continuing to capitalize on his part of the map. A couple of Banelings moving in, trying to be sneaky snake. Unfortunately, oh, one of them, nope, not actually able to move out, and green goop does fly across a reasonable amount of the map here. This Overseer is going to be able to spot Hydralisks, and it dies to one as well. Is that going to be triggering a mass movement from Daloze? Yes, it is. The Spine Crawlers actually go down in reasonable locations, but there's really not that much DPS when you consider how many units are here. Right, and here we go. 51 versus 50 Roaches at the moment. Just 8 Hydralisks at the moment, though, so reasonably young in terms of this battle, but are they going to be able to turn the tide in terms of DPS? It looks like they might be able to. Nerchio forcing his opponent to pull back, and that actually gives Daloze a worse concave than he did before. Nerchio is enjoying a big DPS advantage now. All of the Hydras are there. He didn't enjoy this advantage at the beginning of the fight, but he certainly did towards the end now. And Daloze has dropped to 100 supply. Nerchio 162. He's dancing his units as well. I think he knows he's won the fight and potentially the game here and the series. Game, set, match, ladies and gents, to Acers, Nerchio. Daloze not giving up just yet, but look at how many units are moving into the natural expansion. Nerchio, well, he's facing pulled drones. GG! And that's going to be enough. Nerchio moves into the next round with a 2-0 victory over Daloze.